Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who was wisdom? Who was the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. So yesterday was supposedly Columbus Day and Indigenous Day. Both of those fake holidays are not representing the truth. See, how do you have an Indigenous Day, but you ignore the Aborigines of this land? See, only in a Psalms 83 world, where right is left and left is right, does that kind of garbage pass. And then yesterday they were talking about how Joe Biden was the first president to acknowledge, what is it? Is it the day for the natives, Indigenous Day? And he was also acknowledging Columbus Day. But see, that just shows you how in this society, they have two lies going on. And no one wants to admit the truth. And that's like a prime example of how everyone has come together to keep the name of Israel out of the world, to keep the truth out of the world. And I was looking for, something's kind of in my spirit yesterday to kind of look for this certain picture, and I couldn't find it. Kind of went with the natives and some of the original statues and things like that. I couldn't find it. And then this morning, the Most High put in my mind, like, hey, I want you to do a video on Indigenous Day. And I was like, well, I can't find a picture. Well, then I checked my emails, and one of the subscribers named Whammo, thank you for sending this video, sent a video to me about the natives, and they were doing like a kind of a video on like the murals and things like that they found down in Central America, in the Mayan area. And it just went exactly with what the Most High was telling me to do a video on. So like I said, I know how the Most High has always been working with me and using the nation and using people to get me the information that I need. And I wanted to say thank you, Whammo. You were used for another mighty works we're going to be doing today. This was a video right here. Murals and Mysteries of the Maya. William Saturno, PhD. So you can look that one up if you guys want. It said it was just kind of looked at some of the pictures, and there's your pictures, your murals right there. How do you have Indigenous Day yesterday, but you're showing the natives that they want to push, and you're just ignoring the ones that are written on the walls? You're ignoring the true Aborigines. But see, is that not Psalms 83 to the T? And see, the ones that have, that are going along with Psalms 83, they get their payment, they get their little bag, they get their casinos, they get their hush money, and they don't acknowledge who the real people are. But just like, in this world, remember now, if you're getting your acknowledgement here, that's all you're going to get. Just like when people, try to go out and give money and act like they're so giving, but they do it in front of everyone, that just shows you that they're getting their just due right now. They're getting their praise and worship right now. The natives that they've put up, you guys, hey, everyone's getting an opportunity to tell the truth. Everyone's getting an opportunity to admit the truth and say, hey, these are the Aborigines. These are the ones that were here first. Hello, it's written on the walls. It's not like you can hide it anymore. You got them on the wall. This is part of the picture from the video right here. It's written on the walls. How are you going to fake it and act like these aren't the people that were already here? That these aren't the real Aborigines? But you're going to make a holiday and throw out other people. And those other people ain't going to admit the truth either. See, you guys are all getting an opportunity to admit the truth before the Most High brings judgment. And you guys are still going along with the lie. I'm not saying that none of you guys weren't here, but you're not bringing up the fact that who's on the murals, Who's on the walls? Many of the Aztec people say that they didn't build these temples. They didn't build these pyramids. That when they got here, they were already here. Well, it seems like the people already have the calling card because the people who actually built these things, they're written on the walls. Their murals are on the walls. So you're going to have an Indigenous Day, but you're going to ignore the Indigenous that were here before the ones that you're holding up. You're going to ignore the originals. But you do that at your own peril. Because, like I said, the Most High is giving you your opportunity to come clean, giving you opportunity to tell the truth, giving you opportunity to bless Israel with the truth, bless the world to stand up and be counted as telling the truth. You see, everybody went through Columbus Day yesterday. They had their Indigenous Day yesterday, and I didn't see anyone talking about, hey, these so-called black people, these so-called African Americans are the true Aborigines. They're the true people who were already here before we were here. You're not hearing about any of that whatsoever. So everyone wants to continue with the lie. They want to continue with the things that they've been taught in these schools and that's been pushed this whole time. But see, the Most High is now raising up his men and his people to tell the truth and give you the alternative. Now, if you're going to, acknowledge that alternative, hey, that's on you. But just remember, there's consequences for pushing the lies. It does say at the end that the Gentiles are going to come to the Father saying that their fathers have inherited lies. Well, this is one of the huge lies right here. That many of these natives that you guys say are the natives aren't the ones who were here originally. And they're just going along with the lie of the society. This all shows you how Psalms 83 is playing out in so many different aspects of society. How do you have all of these murals who show who was already here originally, and you just ignore it? So I told you that Psalms 83 is so much deeper than we thought, and it's still playing out today. You have all this information, but the world is just choosing to ignore facts, choosing to ignore the fact of who are the true Aborigines, who were the ones that were using these sacred sites, who were the ones that was given that knowledge and understanding. See, all these different areas are sacred sites. Just like we talked about with the Druids and how they had their sacred sites, there's energies that are present at these sacred sites that were being used by the priests. They're being used to heal people, to give mental clarity, give physical help, spiritual help. Because of the earth helping the woman, that's what's going to happen again. The earth is going to rejuvenate us physically. The earth is going to rejuvenate us spiritually. All these power sites that are all over the world are going to be given back to the Most High's chosen people, and we're going to be given the knowledge on how to use them once again. The sites, you said, they haven't been destroyed. In fact, the Gentiles have kept them, have pretty much kept them for us, so that when we awakened, the Most High is going to give us the sites back and give us the knowledge and understanding once again on how to use them. But you just got a world that loves lies. Remember, the world loves to be lied to, and they all go along with the lie. And so you got plenty of people who are still pushing Africa, Africa, Africa. When you got all this, all these facts and all this information that shows that we were already here. But see, the ones that are pushing Africa, Africa, Africa are the ones that are still pushing the lie. They're pushing the lie that, hey, all you African Americans came from Africa, so this is not your land. You are not indigenous. So then we can continue with these holidays and prescribe them to another people. So, oh, you guys aren't the natives, even though there's all these murals and all these things, there's all these places we don't allow you guys to go. These murals are all over the place. They're all over these pyramids. They're all over these caves underneath these pyramids. And they're all over the place. But they control where you can and can't go into certain places. They'll say, oh, it's not safe for you to go here, or they'll cover up the murals, or they won't let you see them. But in a lot of older books, they brought this information out because the Most High made them bring it out, knowing that we were going to wake up at the end and we were going to be given this information once again. So how do you get around this right here? How do you get around? These are the murals that are written on the walls, and then you have an Indigenous Day, and you don't represent the so-called Black Indigenous people. See, if you go along with the lie, just remember that you're opening yourself up for the destruction. This Most High is showing. He's going to remind you, hey, remember when I had my servant show you who were the real people, and you just went along to get along. He's giving you an opportunity to acknowledge the truth. And you're not going to get the truth from a lot of people because the vast majority of them are going to go along with the lie. Even people in the so-called truth, they're still going to be pushing. Oh no, these people are Hamites. No, we're all from Israel over in the Middle East. No, we weren't here. We weren't here. No. Even though it's all this proof that it shows you that they're part of the system. They're part of the game. No, those aren't our books. No, that's not our information. It was all just made up. All we have is the Bible that the abominable church approved for us. You have to go along with that narrative that they've set up this entire time. And then this morning, I actually found the pictures that I was actually looking for. And this is actually from Atlantis, the Antediluvian World by Donnelly, Donnelly. I did a video, probably do a couple more, because I have the first edition of the book and then his later editions, and then they took a bunch of these pictures out. And I did a video on this one actually specifically. But this shows the Negro idols found in Mexico. And these are the ones that they actually hid. Let's read a little bit from 6. Without Atlantis, how can we explain the fact that the early Egyptians were depicted by themselves as red men on their own monuments? And on the other hand, how can we account for the representations of Negroes on the monuments in Central America? Because they were already here. Desiree Charnay, now engaged in exploring those monuments, has published in the North American Review for December 1880 photographs of a number of idols exhumed at San Juan de Teotihuacan, from which I select the following strikingly Negroid faces, because we were already here, because we are the Aborigines. So yesterday, when you talked about Indigenous Day, these are the ones that are the Indigenous. These are the ones that you should have been actually representing, that you hid, that you still hide, and that you're going to have to pay for. Pushing the lie, there's going to be consequences for pushing the lie and ignoring our people. So you so-called Native Americans who are ignoring who was actually here before you, you're opening yourselves up to be punished as well. How do you just explain this away? You don't explain it, you just ignore it. And that's going to come with a consequence. You got this one right here also. Besides the sculptures of long bearded men, Hebrews, there you go, seen by the explorer at Chichen Itza, there were tall figures of people with small heads, thick lips, and curly short hair or wool, regarded as Negroes. We always see them as standard or parasol bearers, but never engaged in actual warfare. Now remember, like the priests, actually that's all part of the Druids. The Druids actually didn't have to fight. They actually were excluded from warfare. You see, so I mean, like you start getting into the scriptures and getting into certain kinds of histories, then it starts to connect. Things start to connect. It says the following cut is from the court of the palace of Palenque, figured by Stevens. The face is strongly Ethiopian. Okay, the figure below represents a gigantic granite head found near the volcano of Tuxtla in the Mexican state of Veracruz at Caxapa. The features are unmistakably Negroid, as the Negroes have never been a seagoing race. That's another lie. The presence of these faces among the antiquities of Central America proves one of two things: either the existence of a land connection between America and Africa. See, like we actually we weren't sailing on ships. Again, they always got to throw their lies out there. Okay, via Atlantis, as revealed by the deep sea soundings of the Challenger. Okay, or commercial relations between America and Africa through the ships of the Atlanteans or some other civilized race, whereby the Negroes were brought to America as slaves at a very remote epoch. See, they always got to bring their lies. We were already here. That's how you always have to dodge the hijack. You get a little bit of, you get the truth with the pictures, but then they got to explain how all these Negro faces are already here. We were nothing but slaves according to them. So see, someone must have brought us here as slaves way before the Spanish did. You see that? But like I said, we know how to get through all their lies. We were already the ones that were here. You're depicting us as like kings, not slaves. We're depicted as people of high authority on these murals and different ones, not as slaves. But they always got to throw that under. But that doesn't even matter what they say anymore. We get the information, and the spirit will give us the understanding. So happy Indigenous Day to my Hebrews, because that's who the Indigenous were. We were the ones. This is our land, and the Most High is restoring it back to us. These sites will be restored back to us as well, and the power will be restored back to His people as well, and health and prosperity will be coming back to our people once again. Now that we've finished up our 400 years of curses, and now the curses are switching to you. And now the Most High is bringing out this truth, and now you have the truth, you have the opportunity to either accept it or perish with the lies. All praise is to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.